In this video, I'm going to talk about the raw reality of making $1 million in real estate, being in it for 7 years, the goods, the bads, and everything you need to know before you even decide to become a realtor or decide to stay a realtor. What's up, guys? My name is JP Gannam. I've been in the industry for over 7 years and over 100 transactions, over $100 million. And now we help agents install the same client acquisition systems that took us from zero to $1 million in just 24 months. It's a little different than all my other videos. Usually I'm talking about like strategic things on how to do things or how to handle rejection was the last video or whatever it may be. But this one, I just want to keep it raw and real. Wanted to do no editing, wanted to make sure that it was just straight talking to the people who have been watching these videos. And first thing I want to go over is like real estate is a lonely sport. So if you're not starting with a friend or you're not starting with a business partner, it's something that is like you're spending a lot of time alone, kind of with your own thoughts, and you're being really vulnerable, I guess, with yourself, and you're being really like, okay, can I do this? You're questioning yourself. You're going through all these different states, and sometimes you're doing that every single day until you start seeing results. So this is the first thing about real estate. If you are have been in it or if you're continuing to go in it, like understand that that's a normal part of the process. Like I remember days where I was just literally door knocking. Luckily I started with a buddy and a partner, and we were door knocking like crazy until like we were literally just we've worn the soles out of our shoes. And I remember days as well, and I'm going to be completely honest, where there was days where we would knock and then we would just be so like depressed and sad, and we just literally grab a bottle of wine or grab a bottle of vodka or whatever, start drinking in the middle of the day and having a couple shots, and then that gave us more energy to make more calls and do things like that. So I mean, it's not the ideal way to do it, obviously, but I'm telling you this story because I want you to know that like if you feel that way as well, it's completely fine. You just have to push past it, and you just have to not let that deter you from the industry, because once you start to get reliable leads and you start to get reliable people reaching out to you, like this industry can be really fun, right? Like I also remember the days where we had a project that was a $30 million sellout, and I was selling a $2 million house every couple of weeks, which in my market, that was like, I think it was like 35, 40 grand commission each house. So it was like, holy shit, like this is a lot of money. Like, what am I going to be able to do? And at the time, I was like, literally like freshly single, and I was like, okay, like, what do I do with all this money? Like, what is my purpose? And obviously, like, if you don't have purpose at that point, it's like, okay, you start going down this spiral and you're like, okay, let's just party, let's have fun, whatever it may be. So yeah, I've done that too. So it can be really rewarding in the sense financially, but again, going back to the loneliness of this business, it's a business that is lonely. So you do need to find your tribe. You do need to find the people that you can connect with, and I think that makes it a lot easier. Whether it just be literally getting together once a week, talking shit about like the previous week's people, right? Like, oh my god, I door knocked this person and he yelled at me, told me to get off the property, or I called this lady and she was like literally in the middle of a fight with her husband, or whatever it may be. Like we come into weird situations like this because we're in the business of dealing with the public, the general, right? So the general public is weird, and sometimes you're going to showings and you're walking in on people doing weird things. I've been there as well. So definitely that's a part of the business that's weird. So the loneliness, however, the financial incentive is amazing. Now, the next part that I want to talk about is the fact that this business can and will eat you alive if you allow it to. Now, what I mean by that is like you can get so consumed by the numbers and by the fact that you can make so much money that you could literally forget about anything and everything else that is a part of your life. Now, if you're in real estate, think back to before you were in real estate. Like, what did you enjoy doing? Who did you enjoy hanging out with? Because once you get to this high achievement place, and you get to this place where it's like, okay, I know exactly how many people I need to talk to, I know exactly how much money that'll make me, you're going to want to just keep pushing on that formula. You're literally wanting to just keep running that machine and making more and more money, and then essentially you want to make it to the point where like you don't even know what it's for. So it definitely gets to that point as well. So you can't get lost in that black hole. And I got lost in it. I know many people that have got lost in it as well. So that's definitely a situation that you don't want to be in. So that's another negative of real estate. But you know what? We'll end on a positive of real estate. Real estate has allowed a lot of people to gain that financial freedom to be able to travel, do things, go places, sometimes even get out of this business. So, for example, me, like I started this I started in this industry and I thought that I wanted to do development and I wanted to buy buildings and things like that. So, I was like, okay, I'll make a couple hundred grand and then I'll be able to go and buy a building. Little did I know inflation would go crazy, and then now you need a couple million to do that in the area that I'm at. But what it's allowed me to do is kind of step back from that real estate role and now step into that coaching role where I'm helping agents implement things in their business that's allowing them to even stay in the industry when a lot of agents are leaving, or it's allowing them to build their business to points that they never thought was even possible in this type of market. So it's allowed me to do that, and then essentially that's allowed me to get the location freedom that's going to allow me to start buying these buildings in the states and things like that. If you don't know, I'm from Canada, but it's allowing me that the not the financial freedom, but the location freedom, the time freedom, all of that is kind of, yeah, I still want to do that. I want to buy the buildings. I want to do all that stuff. But in this market, in this way, sometimes things come up and then you just have to find a workaround, right? You just have to find a way that you can still do it. It might not be the conventional way, and it probably is never going to be the conventional way based on what you thought and imagined, because life has a funny way of doing that. But it definitely is still possible if you put the plan together and be fluid with it and allow yourself to kind of just be in those situations that that allow you to do so. So, hope that made sense. Hope this is a little bit of different video, because usually, again, we're teaching things or we're going over things, but just want to be raw and real with you guys and kind of give you a little bit of positives and benefits of being in this industry and being a realtor. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.